Welcome to Kill Count, where I will tally up all the victims in Tally Hall's internet show, and let me tell you, it's much more than you think. And most of the deaths are towards the end, so we have no time to waste. Episode 1, Good Day. The first episode is generally pretty innocent. You could potentially argue that the person doing the birthday section dies, but it's really not clear what the hell actually happens in that, so I can't say for sure. And the only other contender is during the Good Day music video, when the Joe on the right gets shot and disappears. And simply because I don't want episode 1 to have a kill count of 0, I'm going to count that as a death. Hold on, wait a minute, pause, I'm a moron. There is 2 others in the Good Day music video, here are both the clips, they both count as well. Episode 2, Death Request. Despite the name, this one also doesn't have many deaths. Death number 1 is obviously Zubin.
Did you guys hear about Zubin? He's dying.
Considering how dramatic it was, it really feels like it should count for more, but no, it's just 1. And from this, the members are asked by him to kill Ross, and even though it was his dying wish, they obviously don't want to.
We should definitely do it.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Shut the f up!
So they get a bunch of ways to kill Ross, but the most important one is the poison cupcakes. Andrew does taste some, but we see him later in the episode, so he's probably fine. And by the end of it, they don't even end up killing Ross because of some stupid loophole.
Don't I get a dying wish?
But if you keep watching through the credits...
Can I have one of these?
Episode 3, Taken for a Ride. Now, loads happens during Andrew's dream, but because that's the entire episode, I'm going to count them all as deaths. First of all, there's this scene.
Did both of your parents just die?
Yes!
And second, Rob literally rips off the nose of a clown, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough to kill him. But in the very next scene, a person in a penguin suit does commit suicide, so yeah. Episode 4, Welcome to Tally Hall. Whilst fishing, Rob and Ross come across a magical fish who says he'll grant them any wish they desire as long as he is safely returned to the water. So of course they make sure to very carefully take him back to And during the clay bit, the cow Sally says that they found a tumour and does not seem that hopeful about it. But this does literally not matter at all because of what happens in episode 10, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Episode 5, Who Cares? In this scene where Rob and Zubin are walking, Zubin brags a lot about having shoes with wheels on, and they actually end up saving him from being run over by a car. But Rob only has regular shoes, and so he gets what he deserves. And towards the end, the depressed horsehead so nearly kills himself but doesn't. Episode 6, True Love. Tally Hall spend this whole episode hunting for Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, which is very entertaining but doesn't give us much to work with. Or at least until the very end, when the song finishes with Zubin being murdered by a clown.
Reminds me of the time.
Episode 7 has no deaths, moving on. Episode 8, The Whole World Anew. At the end of the music video for The Whole World Anew, Andrew Saltrey gets assassinated. And judging by the positioning of the second shot that goes through the wall, it's pretty clear that the woman he was next to was killed as well. And at the very end of the episode, when Jerk Chicken is lying down in the pen, a farmer wielding an axe shows up. And I think it's pretty safe to assume what happened next. Episode 9, Potato vs. Spoon. You'd think that when Rob and Joe have a cowboy-style duel against each other with actual loaded guns, at least one of them would die. But no, they both miss each other. And later in the episode, this giraffe runs into a power line which definitely kills it. I love how I have to stretch a little for some deaths, and then there are just ones like these. And last but definitely not least, episode 10, Good Night. And you might want to strap yourselves in for this one. Whilst on what seems like a heist with his future self, the past Bora gets hit by a car and killed. And we know he dies because right after this happens, the future Bora disappears. Now you could argue that this is only one person, but because it's 2 characters, it counts as 2 deaths. And during the Rule of Everything music video, lots actually happens. At the start of the song, these little 2D creatures seem to infect the bigger 3D creatures like a disease. And then when it comes to the end of the song, they all break out of their hosts, who we never see again. So I think it's fair to assume that at least these 12 that we can see here are all killed by this. As well as Time, who was killed by the little ones. And this gives the Rule of Everything music video a kill count of 13. It's definitely not on purpose, but it's very cool that it happened to be that. Later on in the episode, there's a very short bit where Zubin is drowning and nobody does anything.
Oh, he's drowning.
And while it's not confirmed that he dies, I think it's still countable. And now we get to the bit with the cows that I mentioned earlier. Because while driving, Lenny swerves away from a tree, kills 12 of what I think are pigs, and then the car explodes. What a note to end on. But wait, that's actually not the end, because the Hidden in the Sand music video is also in episode 10, and at the end of it, the entire ship sinks, killing everyone on board apart from this bird. So let's count how many characters were on there. The captain, the waiter, the 2 lovebirds, the old guy, the 4 crew members, these 6 passengers, the cat, and the 4 mice. You can't see this guy's face, but nobody else has the same clothes, so he's also a unique character. Due to the clothes of the people in this scene, at least 5 of them have to be new. And finally, of course, the ship itself. So yeah, episode 10 is a big one. And so for the final kill count, let's have one quick rundown. And so yeah, there it is. The final kill count of Tally Hall's internet show is a whopping 73. It's probably reasonable to say that it's not 100% accurate, but I think most of these deaths were fair. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Tally ball.